Hi there, folks. This is Big Doug Outdoors. I want to do a little review today on crossbows, and then I'm going to do a separate video of rangefinders with the type of arrows I like to use for my crossbow, or use the technical name. They're called boats, and also broadheads. What I recommend when I use for the crossbows that I use. Um, I've got two of them here. I had the first crossbow I ever had. I had issues. I didn't get a manual with it, and it was mainly for my wife. But you really need a manual. And I know back when I first crossbow I bought, there was not really YouTube channels and stuff out there like they are today to kind of help you out with that. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that too as well. I did almost have the string blow up in my face for not using rail lube, and I'll tell you what rail lube is and what I recommend and where it goes on your rails. But anyways, without further ado, I'm going to show you my first little crossbow. It is a little cheap one. You can pick these up at Rural King here in Indiana, and I'm not mistaken, I think Walmart might have these too. I don't know their prices on them nowadays. I know when I first got this, it was around $100. Wasn't very much. I caught it on sale. The only problem I had was the scope that came with it actually broke on me. The crosshairs had actually snapped inside. I don't know if we over torqued it or what, because that is something you gotta be careful when you're using a scope on a firearm or crossbows. So just be careful not to over tighten them, over torque them, because you can mess the crosshairs up. And the other thing I had issues with was the limb. It actually split up here, and I ended up sending the new limb back, and well, the old limb to the company that made this crossbow, and they were good enough to send me a new limb. And it's actually, instead of having two limbs like some crossbows have, the one crossbow I got down there has actually got 4 limbs. It's got an upper limb and a lower limb, and it's got 4 actually. So this one's only one solid limb, kind of like a recurve. As you can see, that's what gives it its name, as a recurve. But anyways, it's a nice little crossbow. I highly recommend them. And when I was talking about rail lube, my favorite one is the liquid form. There is another type. It's like a chapstick tube. That's what it looks like. This one is a speed stick, is the brand name. It's Crossbow rail lube. Don't get anything that's got wax in it, because you don't want anything that goes on here tacky. Because what it does when you have tacky material on your rail, it can cause friction and burn your wrap up on your string. This is called a wrap, if you can see it. Starts here and it kind of wraps around the string. That helps, gives it support. Makes it kind of one solid, so that way when the boat goes down in here. But anyways, just use some, I prefer a liquid form, because you can spread it all over on here and then put a little bit down the rail as well. It helps it out. This crossbow did come with a cocking rope. This is what it looks like. It's got 2 little hooks on each end. The little hooks has got bearing, a little pulley in there that's made out of brass, and you just hook it up here on your string on each side, and then you loop the rope around the back you see on the groove and pull it to turn on cock it. I'm not too big on that style of cocking these things, because I have a lot of issues where it won't be as accurate as you want for hunting. This crossbow will shoot about size of a softball out at 40 yards. Beyond that, it starts flying all over your target. So know your limits when you have a crossbow. Know that, I can shoot out to this distance and hold, a softball. To me, a softball size pattern is still really good for deer hunting. I recommend that. But otherwise, this little crossbow shoots really good. I've had no issues with it, with shooting, besides the limb having issues with it. But the company it's made by is SA Sports. That's what it says on here. You can see it right here. Um, Basically, you know, you can look them up and find them. I think there's a different brand out there now. Royal King sells, but they're basically the same, I think. But anyways, that's that there. And then this crossbow is my favorite. And I'll do a little safety thing as well with this, using this crossbow. This is a 10-point Titan Extreme. This is a really nice setup here. I know a lot of the newer crossbows now are going away with the your rails, which is kind of nice because it saves the life on your string and everything as well. This one I'm gonna have to replace it. I might be able to get another deer season out of it. But anyways, this is I love the scope. It's on here. It's got 4 dots in here. I've got it set to 20 yards right off bat, and then I got a 30-yard, 40, and then a 50, and then I know where my 60-yard is in here as well. So I can get up to 60 yards, be deadly with it at that distance. The one thing I highly recommend with this one, what's really nice compared to the other one, it doesn't have this. It has finger guards, and as you can see, just a flat board there keep you from sticking your fingers up above your rails. Because if you do that with it cocked and you shoot, you have a tendency to take your finger off. That's how much force flies off of these strings. I did it with the old one. The other one that's just don't, because the other one is a recurve style. This one actually is like a compound style bow because it's got your cams on it. I'm trying to get it out. Sorry. This one will probably do more damage to your fingers and stuff than the other one will. The other one, I actually had my thumb with it just barely up above the rail, and it scared me after I shot it because I thought I ripped my finger, the hide off my thumb. But it didn't hurt nothing, but it just stunned my thumb for a good while. But anyways, when cocking these, I didn't demonstrate that with the other one. This one's got a different type of cocking mechanism. Right here, it has this here. This is a hand crank, which is really nice. That's why I like this crossbow so much. It's built into the stock. Right here's your reel handle. It locks into the stock itself. You can just pop it off like that, kind of push it forward to lose the tension. And back here is a little switch, a locking switch. It kind of works like a reel, a spin reel. You know how you got a little switch on some spin reels? You can flip it to where it'll unwind backwards, or if you flip it to lock it on, it'll spin a little bit and you can lock it for keep from reeling backwards. This is the same exact way as that. And to release the tension up on this is to push it forward, flip that all the way down, and that puts tension, takes the tension off of there and unlocks it, where it'll wind backwards. And then you stick this up here, and there's a groove, as you can see right there. You put your string in that groove, and you make sure you put the string in that groove on both sides of that horseshoe mechanism. I'm not sure the technical name of it. I just call it a horseshoe because it's what it looks like. And it locks onto the string real good. Then you take your finger and flip that up to lock. You can hear it where it clicked. And it kind of sounds like an old, what do we call, roller coaster, if you listen. And each time you hear that click, that locks it in place, as you can see. This here, to keep that from happening, you gotta push this up forwards, push that back, to let it back down, because I'm not going to cock it all the way. As you can see how it worked. And then this also is really nice about it. It's got like a hook on here on this horseshoe up here, and it locks onto the butt of your crossbow. So you can flip that back onto locking, and you can hear, and you crank it a few times to lock it in place. The reason why you want to do that is because that way when you are hunting, you don't have that slapping around, flopping around, and making noise. This here, I recommend putting this in your pocket or putting it in your backpack with a zipper, because I about lost this. It does lock into my stock of my crossbow, but it don't do it very well. You can actually bump it when you got this strap on walking through the woods. This scope on here also is illuminated. What I mean by illuminated, it's got battery. It goes in here. The battery's dead. I need to put a new one in it, but or I would show you guys. The crosshairs will light up, and you can light them up green or orange, either one. You can go real bright, you can go real dim. It doesn't matter. But other than that, this is, like I said, a really nice crossbow. I've got it set up to where I can shoot good distance with it. And again, this crossbow, you do have to use rail lube, and put the rail, apply this type of rail lube. I usually just squirt it, kind of push it on here, and then run me one little line down and line down here this way, both time, each one of the rails, so that way when you cock it, it lubricates. This one, I think it's you can shoot to 25 or 50 shots before reapplying it. And then this one, it's after every 5 shots, you have to reapply this again to your rail. And even, like, let's say one day you shoot it and you only shot it 20 times, and you go back out the next day to shoot it again, you have to reapply it again every time you go out to shoot it. But anyways, other than that, this is a really nice crossbow. This one is around $1,200, brand new. It did come in 3 bolts that I didn't like, and I ended up getting a different bolts, some carbon arrows. I'll have to show them to you guys in our video. But anyways, when you do cock this, I want to mention this as well before I end the video. Make sure your safety switch is in fire position. If you put it where it's safety on like that, it will not cock. The string won't go back in here and cock or anything. And this also has a safety feature on it. You can see this moving here. It's a little lever. Well, that little lever, you can see it down there, hangs down. And when you do cock it, it flops down there, keeps it from your crossbow from flying, releasing, you know what I mean? The string. So that's kind of one thing nice about that. If you're doing a finger pull instead of using the hand crank. And then, like I said, keep it in fire, because when you do cock it, it'll automatically, the string will push your safety on to where it won't fire. So most crossbows are that way, which is really nice. I like that. But anyways, and also I like to mention something too. I keep forgetting little things, so please forgive me. To maintain your crossbow really good, really need to get you some string wax to put on your string to keep it fresh, because it makes it last a lot longer and stuff if you keep it on there. Even when you put it up for the year, I usually rub it on there, and then every month or so I'll get it back out, make sure it's still got enough on it. If it's a little dry, I'll put some more on it. That's one thing I recommend doing each time. Other than that, it's pretty simple and easy. And also, read your manual when you get it, because that'll help you know how to take care of it as well, because there's other things that goes into it, and I'm kind of running out of time. So I just want to thank you guys again for watching this, and I pray God blesses you in your upcoming hunting and fishing here in 2020. We'll see you till next time.